To Marcy, and the time of our departure would come, we would start loading bags into the car. And Daddy too would always say, such and such is trying to slip out, trying to slip away. Look at him trying to slip out the door, trying to slip out and slip away. And so it is here that the Apostle Paul tells Timothy, his son in ministry, that he is preparing to slip out. Paul wants Timothy to know that his time has come. He's going away, not on another missionary journey, not slipping away on a temporary sabbatical, but he is sensing that he is at the crossroads. He's at the break of one life and on the brink of another. In this text, Paul appears to be standing on the banks of Jordan. He feels the mist of Jordan in his eyes, and he sees the flowing river of Jordan with his eyes, contemplating his own death. And while standing on the banks in the shadow of death, he's not afraid. He's not fearful, but he's encouraged by the fact that for the believer in God, death is not a period. It is not a comma. It is not a period, but it is a comma. Death is not a stopping, but it is a moving forward. It is not a final destination, but it is a doorway transportation to higher ground. And so as Paul begins to close in on his ascent to higher ground, he stops long enough to look back and say to his son in ministry, Timothy, and to himself, I fought long and hard for my Lord. And through it all, I've kept true to the Lord. And now the time has come for me to stop fighting and rest. In other words, I've fought a good fight. I've finished my course. I've kept the faith. He was simply saying it's time for me to slip out. Time for me to slip away. And on March 16, 2014, it was Daddy Toot who slipped out. And he slipped away. This time it caught us off guard because Terrell mentioned 2 times, but there were other times because 2006 we were summoned to Raleigh, North Carolina. Marcy was there, Jahar was there, and we arrived. Family members were there, and after an extensive 3.5-hour surgery, the surgeon walked in, Dr. Fogarty walked in and said, are you the Avery family? We said, yes, sir. He said, I won't be honest with you. He's supposed to be dead. He ain't supposed to be here. I want you to know I did the best I could, but that's a miracle laying back there on that bed. I had talked with my sister Christy. She said, the first question you need to ask, is he breathing on his own? That would be a good indication of where he is. And I said, doctor, is he breathing on his own? He said, that's what I'm talking about. He's not supposed to be breathing, but he's breathing on his own. He has suffered a massive aortic aneurysm. And I couldn't help but think, in 2006, Dr. Gray, that was 8 years ago. We stand here in 2014, and I can't help but remember, Dr. Ellis, that 8 is the number of new beginnings. It lets me know that this time it was sudden, it was quick. Daddy too had been on the banks of the Jordan before. He had been at the brink of departure before. He had said his goodbyes. He had taken care of business, but this time he slipped away. He slipped out. No time for goodbyes. Well, he had prepared us. He repeatedly gathered us around his bed. And we said, Daddy too, we know you done told us that. You wouldn't care. As everybody said, he was persistent. He gonna say what he had to say, and he gonna say everything he had to say, and he reminded us and prepared us for this day. Initially, it was you gotta take care of your mama, and when Mama C slipped out and slipped away, he focused on us, but gosh, he loved his grandkids. Right up to his left breath, the last breath, that's all he talked about, those kids. And so like Paul, now Daddy too